All right. Hello, everybody. This is Omar Lyles from ATS Fellowship. And today we're going to have a special guest today. We're on just a little bit early. We're just going to start around between 8 and 8:30 p.m. So tonight we're just going to have a wonderful conversation regarding seminary life, biblical education, theology, and things of that particular nature. And today we're just going to be focusing on seminary life and what does it mean to actually become a professor. So first of all, I have Dr. Michael Burgos. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I'll just have you introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and things of that nature.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. You said my name just right. Michael Burgos is fine. I live in Torrington. you can teach at the undergraduate level. So I picked up a couple of adjunct gigs here and there, some at university, some at community college, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on from there, I did a Master of Arts in Biblical and Theological Studies from Belhaven University, which I did online, and that was a good experience. They use the Third Mill material, which is excellent, and so I think I was one of the first people to graduate from that program. And yeah, that was enjoyable. It was
but their degree programs is a lot more economical than here in the U.S. And it started to look a kind of it looked very appetizing as far as tuition is. And I thought to myself, man, maybe I want to take a degree program over in the UK or in Africa because they're a lot more affordable over there.
Yeah, South Africa is fairly affordable compared to the United States.
Yeah,
You could get a PhD from like the University of Pretoria or Johannesburg or University of the Free State for probably around $5,000 to $6,000.
yeah,
And I would say I think that's a respectable approach.
hmm
I don't think that is the most prestigious approach if that matters to you,
yeah.
but you also don't
that individual having to have gone to a recognized school, as you pretty much were talking about. Uh, so yeah, so great information pretty much that you've been giving out, and I appreciate this conversation as well, because there are a lot of times when a lot of people really don't understand what it takes to get from one level to the next. When it comes down to being a professor, or even having the knowledge and the learning ability to be inside of a school, that's a lot more recognized and accredited at the same time. Uh, so what I want to do right now is just actually just give a word of encouragement for the students and alumni in the group, because I know that Andersonville right now they're trying to get to a certain level and things of that nature. But there are a lot of students here that would love the encouragement and that wants to advance themselves as well. And whatever ministry capacity, it would be really, really good if you just give them, a word of encouragement for the ministry, whether it's in biblical counseling. And that's the thing I haven't asked the question about. Before I go, I'm sorry, I'm going to scratch that away. Let's talk about the biblical counseling for a second.
Mhm.
Um, the organization that you're connected with, tell us a little bit about that and the biblical counseling. Is that one of your go-to things that you like to teach?
Um, yeah, so I do a lot of biblical counseling, both to people in area churches and then also people outside of the churches. And yeah, I have taught on it. I've taught on it at the seminary certainly, and then I've taught at in the local church setting. Um, I have a certification with the Association of Certified Biblical Counselors,
Yeah,
which
I
is
see that.
not the same institution as the Association of Biblical Counselors, which is what ATS is involved with. Um, whereas ACBC, the Association of Certified Biblical Counselors, is the first, oldest, and most prestigious biblical counseling accrediting organization.
Mm,
ABC is something of a newcomer, and and I think that's great that they're moving in that direction at ATS. Um, I think that's better than the NCAA or
yeah,
the
yeah,
NCAA
yeah.
stuff they were shilling. I mean, I think they're still doing that as well, but yeah, so that's a different thing. And ACBC certification is an excellent process. You learn a ton. It is, I think, a little bit more difficult than ABC certification.
Mhm.
It took me about a little over 2 years to do it, and what it requires is you have to read widely. You do about 30-40 hours of lectures. You do observation hours that you have to log, and
Mm,
you take 2 exams, which amount to about 100 pages of writing.
mhm.
And then after you've completed the exams, then you move on to a period of supervision where you work directly with an ACBC fellow who is someone who is really an expert in counseling. They've been doing it for many years, and so what you would do is you counsel under that person, and then they provide you their critical interaction with what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Mhm.
So it's a real profitable. It's a difficult, process certainly, but it's really profitable, and
Mhm.
you'll definitely know how to counsel by the time you're done with that.
Yeah, I did check ABCs though. They do have a practicum. They have like, because they have levels in their certification. So yeah, their stuff is. I haven't checked all of the Association of Certified Biblical I think that's the acronym. Theirs is good as well. I was trying to compare, but maybe I need to go back. I can hang on your word. Um, I'm a member of the American Association of Christian Counselors, which is
Mhm.
another widely known certification agency in which I got my mental health certification from. my mental health coaching certification, and right now I'm doing the biblical counseling through them, and not necessarily through ABC. It was always a course that I was always interested in, and I think I want to go back. Even though I'm going to the certification program, I still would like to have a degree, maybe get like a second degree in that specific area. So
Mhm.
great information, great information. So if I can go back a little bit to just give a little word of an inspiration to the um, uh, the uh, the alumni and the students, and then after that, you can just let everybody know where you're located, give your website and all that stuff, and I'll come back, for that. Okay.
Sure. So as far as encouragement, um, gosh, what could I say? I guess the best thing I could say that would encourage you is, if in fact you've attended Andersonville, don't stop your education there. Certainly, move on to something else. And if finances don't afford that opportunity, then wait till they do and pursue education at an institution that is known for its ability to provide education. And probably the best way to discern that is to look at the faculty. Um, does the faculty have the requisite training to provide you a good education? Look at what the faculty has accomplished. What have they written? What have they done? One of the reasons why I chose to do a DMin at the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary is because they have a world-class faculty that is, I think, second to none. And so, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Andersonville. Honestly, I've said that in public in numerous forums. And so, the best encouragement I could give is to find somewhere else where you can pursue theological studies that will be an investment that will pay dividends for the rest of your life. And so.
All right, thank you for that word. So right now, just let everybody know where they can actually find you, any social media handles.
I'm on Twitter on occasion at Love the Triune God, LUV. And then I'm on LinkedIn. That's about it, really. I have a Facebook profile, but I very rarely will use that. And so, so my website's mrburgos.com, and then Forge Seminary is forge.education. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for actually coming in. I mean, not coming in, coming on. Thank you for coming on. This was a great conversation, and you spoke a really good amount of things that people can take in, and as far as seminary life and education. So I thank you just for coming on,
Yeah,
and
sure.
and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate
All
it.
right, thank you, appreciate it. Have a wonderful and blessed evening.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.